This is a tale of espionage. Iris Bonga and the Helpful Taxi Driver. The story was written by Margaret Mahy, and the illustrations are by Vicki Smillie-McHoull. Margaret Mahy is an author from New Zealand. In Christchurch, New Zealand, there is a playground built in 2011 with her name on it. She has published 120 books, some of them for very young learners, some of them for teenagers and young adults, and she is undoubtedly New Zealand's most loved and celebrated author for young readers. One day, Iris Bonga, the famous spy, got an invitation in her spy's mailbox. She was invited to a special training school organized by the Society of Spies and Sneak Thieves. "I don't need any training," Iris said crossly, but she changed her mind when she saw there was a free supper. Spy work gives spies a good appetite. Warning: horrifyingly vicious guard dog. Greedily, Iris read the menu. "Oh, they're having slyness soup," she cried. "Then they're having secrecy sausage and lobster lurk with masked mayonnaise poured over it. My favorites. What's this? Large helpings of mystery melon will be served between courses. There will be coffee with invisible chocolates to finish off with. I simply must go to this gourmet training school." Unfortunately, Iris Bonga's own private spy's van was in the shop for repairs due to bullet holes, and she had to call a taxi. The taxi driver drove up, hopped out, and knocked on her door. "Never early, never late, taxi waiting at the gate," he said, beaming cheerfully. Iris was wearing her best spy clothes, including her slinky stockings and high-heeled shoes. The taxi driver looked at her with admiration. "Sunshine Sam, they call me, ma'am," he said, opening the door of the taxi for her. "I wish to go to Ambush Avenue," Iris said in a rather haughty voice. Where's that?" asked Sunshine Sam, looking puzzled. Iris was not surprised. Naturally, a school for spies and sneak thieves wouldn't be held in a place taxi drivers knew about. "It's not far from Slink Street," she said. But Sunshine Sam did not know where Slink Street was either. "Look for Lilo Lane," said Iris impatiently. Sunshine Sam smiled. "Oh, I know where that is," he said. "But a lady like you shouldn't be going to Lilo Lane. Lilo Lane is full of trouble." "Just take me there and no arguing," said Iris. She smiled to herself. Soon she would be with other spies supping up the slyness soup. Sunshine Sam watched Iris in the rearview mirror. "You're a spy, aren't you?" he said suddenly. "What an exciting life you must lead." Iris just gave a mysterious smile. "I wish I were a spy," said Sunshine Sam. "I enjoy driving taxis, but I think I would enjoy being a spy even more. Ah, well, here we are at Lilo Lane. No, hang on a minute. This isn't Lilo Lane," Iris cried. Sunshine Sam had made a mistake. It was Hi-Ho Highway on the opposite side of town, a very brightly lit street near the golf course. "Never mind," said Sam. "I'll just get my taxi driver's map out." However, it wasn't easy. The map was very bulky, and he couldn't get it out of the glove box. When he did, it suddenly unfolded in all directions. Part of the map even came billowing over into the back seat where Ira was sitting. Iris sighed. By now, the other spies and sneak thieves would be finishing the soup, maybe starting on the sausage. And here she was being jostled in the back seat of a taxi by a huge map of the city. "Would you mind holding the edge of it?" asked Sam. The map crackled fiercely as he tried to find the place on it. It was like trying to put up a tent in a taxicab. "Lie low lane," said Sam. "Now, where's my flashlight?" He couldn't get at the glove box because the map was in the way. "Roll down the window," Iris said, "and let the streetlight shine on the map." "Oh, what brains you spies have," cried Sam. "Do you start off being clever, or does that come with practice?" "Being clever comes first," Iris said modestly. "Being a spy comes afterward." I think it's about here," Sunshine Sam said, doubtfully, jabbing at the map. "Let me look," said Iris impatiently. "No, it's over here." "No, it's not," shouted Sam. "Let me look. It's my map." They struggled with the map. It gave a great crackle and tore in two. Iris bounced back into her seat, letting go of her piece of the map. It blew out of the window and off down the road. "Oh, my map! My poor map!" cried Sunshine Sam, looking much less sunny. "Now we'll never find the way to Lie Low Lane. I'll tell you what. We'll go to Sweeney Todd's hamburger bar, and I'll buy you a hamburger to make up for it." "No," said Iris Bonga, straightening her glamorous spy's hat, which had been knocked all crooked. "I have just remembered. Lie Low Lane is off Owl Drive." Everyone knew where Owl Drive was. Sunshine Sam stopped shouting and began smiling. He drove straight to Owl Drive, but when he got there, Owl Drive was filled with barricades and warning notices and red lights. It was being repaired by the town council. Owl Drive. Road work. Caution, men at work. No entry. No entry. "I might take a shortcut," he said. "No, don't," said Iris Bonga. "Just cut along the side there." But it says men at work," Sunshine Sam cried. "There won't be any working there at midnight," said Iris. As they rode over the bumps, they saw another sign that said, "Turn back at once. This road is dangerous for taxis." "Take no notice," said Iris Bonga, anxious to arrive at least in time for the invisible chocolates. Sunshine Sam drove on. The next moment, the taxi wheel went into a deep pothole, and they were stuck. "I am afraid I will have to ask you to get out and push," said Sunshine Sam. "But I'm wearing my high-heeled shoes and slinky stockings," cried Iris Bonga. "Let me drive and you push." "No, you push," said Sam. "I am not feeling very well. You wouldn't make a sick man push a taxi, would you?" Iris had to get out and pile stones under the back wheel. Then she had to push. Luckily, they got the car going again, although the wheel was a little bit bent. They went bumping along until they came to Lie Low Lane. It was lined with police cars. "Lie low in the back seat," said Sam as they drove down Lie Low Lane to Slink Street. But that street was also full of police cars. A police officer stopped them at Ambush Avenue. "Do you have any spies on board?" he asked Sam. "Do I look like a spy?" cried Iris pathetically. The police officer shone his flashlight on her. "Oh, I am sorry, madam," he said, taking in her battered appearance. I hope you recover soon, but I had to ask you. You see, we've set a big trap for spies and sneak thieves. We sent out an invitation with an offer of a free supper. We knew they just wouldn't be able to resist the invisible chocolates. We've arrested dozens of them. Well, said Sunshine Sam after the police officer had gone, all's well that ends well. But I don't think I'll ever really take up spy work. Shall I drive you home? No, said Iris thoughtfully, watching vans full of screaming spies and sneak thieves being driven to the police station. Take me to Sweeney Todd's hamburger bar. I'll buy you a hamburger and have one myself. A hamburger is safer than invisible chocolates, Sunshine Sam agreed, smiling a wide smile. The Sweeney Todd hamburgers turned out to be delicious. The end. Right back where the story started. On the website readnewzealand.org, you can find information about Margaret Mahy, including being able to learn that before she became a famous writer, she was a librarian for over 10 years. She had a father who told stories, who got her interested in storytelling. He was a bridge builder, and her mom was a teacher. And when she grew up and became interested in books, she started writing and couldn't stop herself. 120 books. Vicki Smillie-McHoull, the illustrator, has many other books that she did, some with Margaret Mahy, but some with other writers as well. So she had her own career also. In this book, readers find out it's good to avoid Lie-Lo Lane. This has been Iris Bonga and the Helpful Taxi Driver. The story comes from Margaret Mahy, and the illustrations were all done by Vicki Smillie-McHoull.